All right, ladies and gentlemen, good day, rest and shine, wherever you are, or good evening for all those our friends who are on like Europe. Ah, well, I hope everybody's doing well. Today is a super cool day. We're actually bringing back our program, Women Leading Rum, and then we have a special, super awesome guest, which is I'm very blessed. I didn't know that person existed. I know she existed. I thought she was like a myth. I'm like, really? Does this person like exist in the world? But she is. She is right here with us today. So I'm very excited. Really quickly, for those who are joining us for the first time, welcome to Zavi and to the Rum Lab channel. To your right, you're going to see that we have our chat box. I see a lot of activities, which is awesome. I want to say hi, Gail Seal. Hi, Meredith. Hi, Maggie. Hi, Johns. Jeff, Sang, Darren, Dave Russells. Whoa, and a lot of people. Thank you. That's a lot of people early, which is great. If you have any questions during the event, make sure to put them on the bottom area where it says ask questions. We do kindly ask everybody if you can share the event. If you're watching us on Facebook or YouTube, come to Zavvy, ZAVVY.co, where you can participate and attend and make questions. Today's agenda is going to be around 30-40 minutes talking about our main presentation, 1 or 2 minutes with our sharing some contact information and sharing our next events. And then we do a little bit of our info I forgot advertising, and then we do our Roma clock Q&A to ask all the questions that everybody might have. Really quickly, today's main topic: women leading the rum industry, and our guest is Trudiann Branker from Mount Gay Distillery. She's the master blender. Let's put the screen nice and big. Trudiann has a lot of rum there. So, how are you doing, Trudiann?
I'm good. It's nice and sunny today, so it's a good day.
Well, yesterday in Barbados it was rainy.
Yeah, it rained the entire day.
So will you say the sun brings you joy and the rain brings you a little bit of sadness?
Not in Barbados because it's warm weather, even if it rains or the sun is shining. So, we're happy regardless.
Yeah. That sounds good. That sounds very positive. Well, Trudiann, really quickly, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are, and just a very high level? I got some things I want to share with people as well.
Hi, no problem. I'm Trudiann Branker, the master blender at Mount Gay, or for Mount Gay Rum. I have been the master blender for a little over 18 months, been with Mount Gay for over 6 years, and very happy to be the first female master blender for Mount Gay and in Barbados. And, I'm happier to be here with you this evening, everyone.
Thank you. I do want to share before a couple of videos. Well, today or last night through the Rum Lab, we shared Trudiann's live stream, basically her interview of the week. I'm gonna share really quickly. And you can see the rest there. You got to go to the rumlab.com, and she's there. She's the most important person right now on the website today. We also have added Trudiann to the Women Leading Rum group. So I'm going to share really quickly another quick video in case you need to find her. This is how you can find her. And everybody now can find you in Women Leading Rum. All right, Trudiann. I think
Quite an honor to be there on that list as you were scrolling down. You know, I'm in good company.
yes, absolutely, and it's an honor for the website and the program to have you on board. Um, the I have a list of questions that topic of conversations that we want to go through. I do want to share this image again because Trudiann looks awesome here. Like, so focus. There you go. This is great. And then, all right,
They're back.
Trudy. First of, so do you really want to be in the booze industry, in the spirit industry? And if yes, what was the calling?
Definitely. I wanted to be in the spirit industry. No, my background is chemistry, is what I would have done, you know, throughout university and whatnot. And for me, the calling specifically became more of a, you know, a nudging when I joined Mount Gay, because it was really, for me, it was all about that harmony. You know, my science was very strong. I always tell people that, I quality was my background before. And then just spending time with Alan and learning about the craft side of things, it was like a perfect marriage. And it became the only true thing that I could be at that point. So for me, it definitely became a calling, or more so of a calling, when I joined Mount Gay and was able to experience, like I said, like the craft behind everything, that the ability to use your nose and your ability to taste, to be able to create these blends that express an opinion or something that, you know, you want to get out there. Like for me, it feels like it's all I've ever done now, which is a good thing.
That's great. So it's not because you like rum.
It's because I like rum. And I am from Barbados, so, you know, synonymous with rum.
I was concerned. I was gonna call your parents. I was gonna we're gonna have a conversation here.
No. It's definitely because I like rum too. That is one of the factors.
Well, you joined Mount Gay in 2014. What did you do prior?
Prior to joining Mount Gay, I worked at the local brewery. I was a brewer first, and then I became the quality assurance manager. And, you know, that really, like, when I came to Mount Gay, you know, my knowledge in fermentation was there, you know, because that's the common factor between those two industries. And definitely my organoleptic abilities, you know, being able to, you know, isolate certain congeners or whatnot you would get in the spirit industry. So, you know, that really was building blocks coming to Mount Gay and entering the spirit world, the traditional spirit world now, for in rum. And yeah, so that's where I was before. So I've been in the industry for about 14 years.
14 years. You mentioned yesterday that you had or maybe I misunderstood, but you work or shadow or something Carol from Angostura.
No, I said that I met her, and that's why I really enjoyed watching her Rum Lab interview, because, you know, we've got that commonality of quality going for us.
Yeah, I do mistakes sometimes. I'm dreaming that I did something, and I tell people that I'm like, yeah, I did that, and like my wife is like, you're such a liar, Faye. No.
Okay, she's a great lady. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Oh, that interview was phenomenal. Well, your first role in Mount Gay Rum Distillery was as a quality assurance manager.
Yes.
What does one do in that role exactly?
You know, being the quality assurance manager is really, you know, your responsibility to ensure compliance, you know, be it to legal perspective, be it to, you know, just the taste profile of all the liquids, and making sure everything stays consistent throughout the process that you do. So, I would have really been in charge of just ensuring that wherever Montgay goes in the world, that, we're compliant with regards to our liquids, with regards to our labeling, being responsible for food safety and quality systems and everything else. And, being in quality assurance and being a quality assurance manager, you get your finger on everything. There's no department that you don't work along with. There's no part of the value chain that, you're not involved in. So it was very much so. It was the best way to understand the complexity of how we make rum and everything that goes into that. And when you work in quality assurance, from the time molasses is ready, you are handling the specifications for that to the bottle, everything. So. And one thing really unique about Montgay is that the quality assurance manager works really closely with the master blender. And the reason being, the master blender, they have that creative space where they can make a blend and do everything. But then in quality assurance, you're the holder of the secrets. You know what's in the blend. You don't talk about it, but you know it because, like I said, again, it's really just a compliance factor to everything.
No, it sounds really nice. When I was reading about it, I was thinking about, when you give your kids something, like you buy them a really good treat, and then you're like, well, before you eat it, let me taste it to make sure it's good and not poisonous.
Exactly. That is one of the key roles in quality. You're in charge of the panels, the tasting panels. So yeah, you're that one that goes, just before, let's taste and make sure everything's okay.
No, that's phenomenal. And so who's doing that role now?
Another woman, Tawana Waterman. She's excellent. We work very closely together. Hi, Tawana, if you're watching. And she has worked at Montgay for over 12 years or so, I think, maybe even more. And she would have worked alongside Alan and I throughout. I know she's in charge of quality, doing an excellent job.
Then your next role was the designing blending.
Yes. So my next role was the master blender. Yes.
So designing blending is the master blender?
Yes. So my role, at first I was the quality assurance manager, which we just discussed, and now I'm the master blender. And your role of the master blender is not only to, really everything liquid falls under you here at Montgay. So it's about choosing the barrels that go into each and every one of our blends, our Eclipse, our XO, our Black Barrel, but also, being at the forefront of innovation, deciding what the next innovation is going to be, crafting that blend, that whole journey that every liquid that comes as what it goes through really passes through my hand first and before it goes anywhere else.
That's awesome. That's very cool. So Alan Smith took you under his wing. How was he as a mentor? Can you share 2 or 3 things he taught you? It could be personal, like a teaching of life, or professionally. It could be more than 2 or 3. So you have a list of 10. Just go ahead. We can start talking.
Well, you see the big smile on my face when you mentioned Alan, because Alan was pretty awesome. No, I mean, like I said, when I started, everything very much because my background was chemistry, because science was at the forefront. That was really what my vision was, and Alan really honed in and showed me the creative side of things. He really taught me how to appreciate all the different subtle changes that happen to liquid as it's aging in the barrel. And I give this anecdote all the time, but it's the truth. Master blender to master blender, we never teach a recipe. It's not these are the barrels you should pick. This is the age, make this blend. It's not about that. It's about understanding like the Montgay profile, understanding how to get those characteristics from each and every liquid. And one of the things you have to learn when you become master blender, and Alan is excellent at this, is patience. Patience, knowing when, the liquid is ready to be removed from the barrel, understanding when it's not ready and it needs more time. And, time is just not something that you can fast forward in real life. Like when it comes to rum and that maturation process, it takes as long as it takes, it's ready when it's ready, as Alan used to say. So, I would definitely say two big things that he taught me are embrace that creative space, that you need to be in when you're creating a new blend, always remembering that Montgay DNA, and definitely having patience when it comes to liquid. Don't rush it, ever. So those are two really big ones. And then, third, just as a person, I don't know, and Alan can sit and talk to you for hours. He's but one-on-one about everything under the sun. Like he's just an awesome person.
Doom. But did you ever have like the encounter that you wanted to do like, hey, let's do this run, let's do this plan? He's like, patience, my little grasshopper, patience. Yeah.
No, I mean, to be quite honest, not in that way, but it in the beginning, I what's the right way to put it? Like, you're going through a barrel search, you're tasting the various barrels, you're looking at various liquids, and in your mind you're thinking, this is exhaustive. I'm never gonna get to, where I need to be, And it was a lot of, especially in the beginning when we first started, when I first was trained up on the rum panel versus being on a beer panel, which is very instantaneous, of Alan, teaching me to be in that space that you need to be able to evaluate the liquids properly, not to be rushed. She's like, everything else can wait. This is what's important at this time. So it was really more about not being pressured by any other timeline when you have something to do, and just really standing your ground and letting your creativity speak when the final liquid is, or the final rum is made.
But isn't there like a corporate pressure that you like, we need this amount of rum by now, by this date, because we got to supply and send 5,000 cases to
Well, you know what? We're not the biggest distillery. We are popular, but we're not the biggest. No, to be quite honest, when it comes to EXO, when it comes to Black Barrel, when it comes to Eclipse, I mean, it's constant for us. We're constantly pulling the barrels, we're constantly evaluating the organoleptics of barrels. So it's really never an issue with regards to, you're being rushed to select liquid for a specific production. That doesn't happen. And with regards to innovation, like for me personally, I'm really given a lot of creative space when it comes to, say, our Master Blender collection, where I'm working on more than one liquid at a time, to be quite honest. And usually it's years in advance. So what I'm working on today is not going to be a release next year, or sometimes not even the year after, because sometimes it needs more time. The liquid's not ready. We're going to choose a different barrel. So all these things come into play. So I mean, I won't say there isn't an aspect of planning where you have to know when releases are going to happen, but usually my work comes a few years before you see a finished product in a bottle, to be honest. But no, I mean, since I've been the Master Blender, there's really never been an issue where it's like, get this done quickly now, we have to release it. There's a lot more that goes into it than that. So no.
when working as
the team did a good job, so keep it up, guys.
I just wanted to see if you're telling your next person who's helping you like, patience, my little grasshopper, patience.
So, funny enough, there is another female, it's real girl power here at Mount Gay these days.
I can see that. Right?
No, we have Samantha Silvers, who is the research and innovation coordinator. She works really closely with me in the lab, and yeah, no, it's a lot of that. It's seeing that patience, and I hope I do impart what Alan imparted to me, to her, to let's just evaluate. We'll see, this barrel may not be right for this blend, but it'll be right for another blend, and really just going through that process. And you have to really get rid of the noise when you're creating, because it can be very, very distracting. Like for me, like there are little tools that I use. Like I don't take my computer or my phone into the lab when I'm working. Like that's the time I've allotted to do this. It's there's no need for all that noise and distraction and messages and all of that. I still write things in a book because I don't want to take my computer in the lab with me. So they like I said, we all do things a little differently, but the key here is when you're given the opportunity to innovate and create for a rum that is 300 plus years. If we made it 300 years, that took a lot of patience and a lot of people waiting. We can do it today. It's definitely part of how we do what we do.
Is it more in the quality assurance or the master blender to know all the inventory of all the barrels in the aging warehouses? And we're humans, we do forget, but at the same time, don't you get like, you find like this one, like, wow, this is XYZ amount of years, and then you're supposed to sell it, but you just take the barrel and take it home and hide it under your bed.
So no, I never get to take it home and put it under my bed. The master blender is the one who really knows all the inventory that we have in our bonds. I wouldn't say we forget a barrel because, I don't forget any. I'm pretty much know not only like what's in the bonds, but which bond everything is in. Like we've had a conversation yesterday and someone was asking about a specific bond. I was like, yeah, that's at the front right-hand side of bond 3. So you do know like where things are. And what is surprising sometimes is there's a barrel that, you probably evaluated like one day, especially in the R&D, in our R&D program. And then when you come back, you're like, wow, that's changed. That's great. Something's really happened there. And then you learn something new. You learn something new specifically about that liquid or about that rum that's been aging in that barrel type so for me, that's the surprises that I get every once in a while when there's a rum sample that's pulled and brought to me, and I'm like, this is not what I expected. That's fair, but not always what I expected. But no, there are none that you forget.
There's you got David Nurse. He's saying, are you guys? He's your cousin.
Yes, he is. Hi.
He's super excited that you're here. Okay. Let's go here with the. All right. So a lot of articles mention that all members at the company want to keep the company's tradition when it comes to making rum. What would you say are the Mount Gay rum's traditions?
Well, here at Mount Gay, I think for us, even like I said, when we innovate, there are certain things that will always remain the same because they're really part of our DNA. One thing is that, we're in the same location, like where we've always been in St. Lucie, in north of the island. This is where we distill. This is where we mature all of our rums, and that hasn't changed. Something else that's very steeped in tradition for us is our water source. We have a well on our distillery that has been there for the past 100 years. So
wow,
it's whoever was doing our distilling rum back then. I'm using that same water source now in everything that I do. We really have been using pot stills for the last 300 years or so. Like this is the way we always made rum. And for me, these traditions they're the same. They were the same yesterday and they're the same today. And then, this is really, the opportunity to say, a lot of people will say, why do you want to protect how rum is made? But this is why it's important to us because this is how we've always made rum. It's how we want to protect how rum is made in the future. This is the identity of Mount Gay. It really speaks to the identity of Barbados and how our rum is made here. So these things are really important.